fallout from the fraud scandal in Minnesota is expanding as the feds surge resources to the Democrat-led state to investigate. Welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. Good morning. I'm Molly Line. Hi, Bill.
Molly, good morning to you. I'm Bill Malugin. Bill Hemmer and Dana Perino have the day off. The Department of Homeland Security releasing new video showing agents going door to door, all as part of a fraud crackdown in the state of Minnesota. This comes after a viral video appeared to show taxpayer-funded daycare centers largely inactive. And pressure is now building for Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to be held accountable.
The cover of today's New York Post saying it all. Walls close in. Republicans calling the scandal evidence of failed Democrat leadership.
Tim Walz and Keith Ellison have been looking the other way. Billions of dollars have been stolen from Minnesota taxpayers.
You can't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. What we're seeing in Minnesota is just the tip of the iceberg.
This has to end. Every American should watch how taxpayer money was spent. You have some of us right now that are caught.
The federal crackdown in Minnesota over potential fraud is ramping up on multiple fronts now. Not only do you have DHS and FBI agents on the ground, but the Small Business Administration is now halting all federal funding to the state after identifying $430 million in PPP loans in Minnesota that are suspected of fraud. As we've been reporting, these concerns over fraud, particularly in the child care space in Minneapolis, go back more than a decade, including these surveillance videos that were part of a case prosecuted by Hennepin County back in 2015. The video shows parents checking their kids into a daycare and then walking back out with them minutes later. Our Minneapolis Fox station reported that sometimes the kids wouldn't even show up, and that either way, the businesses would bill the state for a full day of services. This other video shows parents then alleged of the businesses in Nick Shirley's viral video.
So there have been ongoing investigations with several of those centers. None of those investigations uncovered findings of fraud. One of the centers, Quality Learning Center, closed just over a week ago.
With those claims is that the manager of the Quality Learning Center says they never closed, and they are even open now, and that the state agency was putting out false information. All of this is raising more questions about the credibility of the state agencies who are supposed to be overseeing these programs that are now being investigated.
The fundamental problem here is that we have a governor and an administration that has totally broken its trust with the people of Minnesota. So it's very difficult for any Minnesotan, and it's very difficult for us to take at face value anything that the Walz administration says on this topic.
It's always great to see you, and good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Bill.
So we just heard it in Garrett's report there. Minnesota officials say they've looked into some of these centers in that now viral video. They found no fraud. And Jonathan, they're still being paid. Take a listen to what they had to say.
Each of the facilities mentioned in the video has been visited at least once in the last 6 months as part of our typical licensing process. For the current child care centers that have been named in the video, we have not paused. There isn't a current pause on any of their payments. As we gain more information from the folks that are out visiting today and gathering additional information, that may change. But currently, there is no pause on any of the those individual centers.
Jonathan, it's kind of hard to believe, but they haven't even paused those payments to maybe look into it a little bit further. Give us your thoughts.
Well, the surge of federal resources into Minnesota is going to help a great deal. You know, that some of this is playing with federal money. You know, if Minnesota wants to burn billions, then do that if that's what they want to do. But they can't do that if it's a federal crime, and they sure can't do that with federal money. And when Governor Walz says, well, you know, I've been trying to get more authority, fraud's been illegal for a long time. I mean, you've been and there have been some prosecutions in the past. This isn't a lack of authority. This appears to be a lack of interest, impulse, a lack of effort by state regulators and prosecutors. So we'll see what the feds come up with here. But Minnesota is really looking at a mountain of hurt coming down on them because this is getting worse by the day.
Another thing that's kind of been uncovered through all this process and these investigations is Minnesota apparently has a voter policy that allows registered voters to, quote, vouch for up to 8 other people who want to do same-day voter registration. Here's a little.
It's so bizarre. It's really breathtaking. The fact is, most of the citizens in this country, according to polls, just want voter ID. That you just show your ID, you confirm your identification, and you've got states like Minnesota coming up with these kindergarten rules instead of just having simple voter ID systems that work. This is overwhelmingly popular with American voters, and so we really have to sort of hash through this in the coming election. It's going to be one of the issues that's going to be in the forefront, because we have new investigations that are showing serious problems in a lot of states with ongoing voter ID failures.
And I do want to ask you about the ongoing case against the alleged D.C. Pipe bomber suspect. He's got a hearing later this afternoon, a detention hearing, after prosecutors say he confessed to the crime. Here's U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro. A post she put on social media says, quote, "My office has filed court documents that to tell the court they want this guy to stay in custody." Got about a minute left here. Give us your thoughts.
Well, this is a lot like the Charlie Kirk prosecution with Robinson. It's becoming a pretty much clear-cut case. You've got incriminating statements made after Miranda was given. The real issue here, I think, is to focus people who are engaging in the rage rhetoric today, that this is the type of person that you are triggering, that when you start calling ICE Nazis and other opponents fascists, when you say democracy is dying, these are the people who are hearing that and treating it as a license to turn to violence.
All right, got to leave it there. Constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley, always great to see you. We will be seeing plenty more of you in the new year, I'm sure. Happy New Year to you.